The meta report is here, and boy, oh boy, do we have a treat for you all. Some oldies, but actually some new ones that popped up over this past weekend. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. We're looking at Charizard. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Mega Charizard X and Mega Charizard Y burned up the competition. I'm sorry. No more. But yeah, no, they did really well. This went 7-0 in like the first day out of the biggest tournament over the weekend, and then came in second, I believe, out of the whole tournament. And just so that way y'all know, behind me here is one Rocky helmet, so that way you can see that there. There you go. But you're running 2 Charmanders, just 20 damage. You ain't looking to do nothing crazy. You want to keep your energy flame patch towards something else when you're retreating with your Entei. You have a split between your Charmeleons here. I kind of like this piece. I think it's combination of just being able to, when you're going first, you use the 2 energy Charmeleon. When you're going second, you're using the 3 Charmeleon energy, so that way you're just attacking right away. When you go first, you just evolve Ignition up to the front, then you have your second energy, you're attacking for 40. If you're going second, you've already had an energy on the Charmander, then when you evolve, you can do the 50 damage. Actually, what's kind of nice is if you do go second, you go down that route, because you're hitting for the 50 the following turn, you actually get to knock out the Oricorio into before they get started, before they get going with their energy as well. So you get to clear them before they even hit you once, and then getting rid of one of the obstacles that are in the way for your big boys here at the end. Mega Charizard X and Mega Charizard Y, they're sick nasty with it, right? Like, both of these are really good. So again, seeing the split, a 1-1, this is typically just kind of like how the Charizard decks have been running. There really isn't like a just X or just Y now, just kind of mesh the two together, because they just represent 2 different things. Mega Charizard X, very easy to get into the beginning game, like just like China, you're just trying to get into that, because it's 100 damage. You get below that health there, that 110 health, and then you're now attacking for 180 for that 3 energy. But since you've already been attacking for 100, that's 280 possibly within 2 turns, which is sick nasty with it. But if you're looking for a one-hit KO, you just need that one more Pokemon gone, right? The Sabrina or the Cyrus to get rid of their Mega. Maybe you've already hit it, done something. Mega Charizard Y says, haha, I have an answer for you, and that is this 250 damage here. Even if they put pressure on this Mega Charizard X, you could always retreat, come in with the closer, and then out the game. That's kind of how you really want to use this, because you go down to 170, they can attack you, and I guess you can go again, but you really don't want to put yourself in too much of a bad position here. As you can see, you're not like running a Lily. You're usually, this Pokemon Center lady has been using here to avoid sleep and things like that, so that way you can come across and make sure that you're attacking right away. But between the damage output of these two, it is very hard to keep up with. But speaking of things that you're going to keep up with, well, you're running into this Manectric Zeraora deck with the added boost of the Promo Electric. Promo Electric is running 1 energy for 30, so now you get to clear out babies right away, and then if you do get that, Mega Manectric allows you get to get that extra 30 damage for getting that first point. Going all the way up to dealing only 110 within your second turn after you evolve. It's already jumped up to 140, and that's pretty good here. The electric generator is just trying to boost the amount of energy that you have, so you can capitalize on that early game. You're looking to attack with your Zeraoras, you're looking to attack with the Electrics, whatever you can take out to get that first point, because 2 energy for 80 is cool, but 200 for 110 is such a great spot. Just getting that first point unlocks a massive amount of damage for your Mega Manectric to really make it easy to then start attacking for 140 the following turn. So being able to go 50-50 or 50-30, whatever combination that you need to do to get that first point is huge. And so getting this electric generator popping off for you works out really well. The training area, again, boosting that extra damage as you so please. Just continue to just get that extra bit here is pretty great. I really do like the stadiums. Just kind of how they've worked out so far, and Mega Manectric feasting off of the training area to get that plus 10 to go for 2 for 90 or 2 for 120 or 2 for 150 goes a pretty long way when you're going against some of these behemoths that are in the game, but you're already attacking them with the swiftness, which is awesome. We jump to an oldie but a goodie. probably still one of the, if not the best deck in the meta. I think it has answers and playable things to everything. You have one shot in your Excalibur. You have the water engine, so you can freely switch around and move around with no issues. Inflatable here, starting planes to really engage with your Suicune and Chien-Pao EX. You're strong against the Charizard deck, right? Like that weakness here. You have your answers for the whatchamacallit or Corey, like I mentioned before. You like going first or going second, right? With this deck, like it really doesn't matter because you're going to gain on that energy and or on that card draw on your opponent, so you have some kind of advantage typically against what your opponent is trying to do, which is like super nice. And then like this card, like I understand that X speed is a thing, but being able to Pokemon tool either your Frigibacks or your Chien-Pao, like even a Suicune, just to easily reset so that way you can just build things up, is like really great. Being able to consistently save an energy has meant a lot. I've been playing this deck off stream like the last couple of days, and it's just been winning. I think we're on a 7-game win streak currently, just like playing off my couch or after I put the kids quickly to bed, and it just allows you to make decisions. It gives you options. And so, yes, you can be straightforward and like build up Suicune, then attack with Chien-Pao. But honestly, Chien-Pao here is just meant to be a closer in situations. You really can just attack through your Suicune, attack through your Excalibur, and then Chien-Pao could be like, oh, you need the job done? I got you. And then you just attack for 130 and you finish the game. So this feels really, really still strong. Feels really, really good. So we then move on to Alolan Ninetales Chien-Pao, and so this was like pretty cool to see something just pop up, a different combination of cards, but we're seeing Alolan Ninetales EX, and we're talking about control here. So this negating your opponent to be able to boost up the active spot is actually incredible. I've run this with like Slowbro, I've run this with Excalibur, and then Chien-Pao myself instead of a Suicune, and Ninetales just allows the game to be slowed down so that way you can build up naturally, and having a Mantyke and a Fiona here to just kind of boost that up is pretty nice. I'm curious as to maybe like why not Manaphy in this as well. I saw this, but this deck still did really, really well. So I'm gonna try this list out just kind of like as is, like this, to see it. But it was like top 4. It did really, really strong. You have your answers again, shutting down opponent's energy. When they're building up their energy in the back, you can just quickly then take it out and then go right back into Binding Snow once again, and then you can do that really, really fast because of these two mons here, being able to just build up with either one energy or just build up with here. So I guess maybe just being able to chip away does really, really well here as well too. So really excited to see that.
Dada?
Yeah, bud.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes, you can. Oh, that's the best hug I got all day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you. Have a good night. I know you already said it, but I just wanted to say it again. No, you did not brush your teeth yet, bud. Alright, well, let's keep it going. So, up next, we have Mega Altaria Ebuff Block Rides. Why folks are choosing to run Pokemon Center Lady in a Stage 2 deck rather than a Lily, right? Like this is the cause of it here. Ebuff doing some nasty shenanigans with Darkrai, being able to put folks to sleep, pinging it here. They're all basic, so you could just drop them and get their full effect right away. And as you know, Mega Altaria just loves the basics here. Because Swablu also sings, and like you were already like putting folks to sleep before, just to like ramp up another Mega Altaria, or just to stall out another like turn so that way you can get into your Mega Altaria EX when you needed to. And that was before this meta. Like this is what you were doing, and now you just benefit off of it by having your opponent potentially lose 80 damage by the time it comes back to your turn because of the 2 Darkrai procs. So this just fits in naturally to what Mega Altaria was ultimately already trying to do. Build up a bench, and while I'm building up my bench, I am weakening you down, and therefore I can then close you out with my Mega Altaria because I'm now hitting for 140, and there's nothing you can do about it. I ever wonder if there's ever a world if you ever run this with Memory Light, just so that way you can sleep and then Mega Harmony on the next turn. Maybe that's just too fancy, let me know down in the comment section, but overall, this here is cooking in of itself. You're doing the things that Mega Altaria is looking for, which is filling up your bench with quick mons that can do things really quickly, right? Like, Mega Altaria just loves the toolbox, right? Klefki, Jirachi, Chingling, right? Mons that go in quick and quick in, quick out. Greninja, right? Like things that are utility-wise on the bench, and you definitely have that with these 2 pairings. Then we continue to Darkrai Giratina, y'all. This deck is still around. It's kind of crazy to see the evolution of it. And it's making its way back up, and just behind me there you see Peculiar Plaza, but this is now all about like just getting your HP up, and it is that of which is close to Mega HP, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? Giratina with Dark Starting Planes is 170. Those are your basic Megas. Add in a Giant Cape, you're now looking at your Stage 1 Megas at 119. You're attacking for 130 as a basic. That is what Mega Altaria is doing, right? You have your Darkrai EX, he boosts up to 160, then to 180. You have the Indeedee for constant heals. You have the Retreating for free. You have Rocky Helmet to make sure that you're weakening down those Oricorios, pinging down those Oricorios. You have your Lucky Ice Pop to stay alive as well too. The only thing I would see here is like maybe we throw in a Pokemon Center lady in here for additional heals, but I like Mars here makes the most sense. You're running only EXs, so like once they take one out, you can always get them down to 1 card, and that 1 card could essentially help you win the game since you shuffled everything else away. So you still have your toolbox with the plentiful of your trainers, right? You're only running 5 Pokemon, so there's just room to add as many things, right? Like you're running 2 different stadiums, you have 3 different Pokemon tools, and then you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like supporters right outside of Professor's Research. So there is room to navigate whatever you need. Just get to turn 3, and then your opponent is in for a treat, because by then you're now able to attack with Giratina, you're able to ping with your Darkrai, and at that point, if your opponent is not there yet, you're ready to go, and you just have so much HP for them to have to take down between the heals, between the Indeedee staying on the board, that it really does make it hard for your opponent to like punch through this wall. And we were dealing with Darkrai Giratina being such a headache when it was just the 2 of them, and now you're adding that HP support on the bench for them to stay alive. Yeah, it's really tough. So trying to really weaken these down before they can really get going, so that way you can be in control. Otherwise, you're really starting to play into their pacing, which is kind of slow. Very this deck is very slow, very particular, very methodical, and it's really hard to get out of that once you're in it. Then we jump into Mega Altaria, Greninja, Chingling, the other side of the toolbox for Mega Altaria. As we were just mentioning those things, Mega Altaria loves its bench. What do you do here? You get to attack for 150 now because of the Greninja, possibly 170 if you have double Greninja lined up. Chingling locks folks out of the game so that they can't play their rare candies, they can't play their Pokeballs. And in the early stages, hey folks, I mean, like, you can tell me how many times have you only been able to play out 1 basic because that Pokeball is in your hand, right? That Chingling stops that from happening. They can get stuck. You can get some really quick and early wins when those kinds of things happen. But naturally, this just gives you a lot of good spacing, double Cyrus to control the board through the Greninja as well. So that way you can stop those Megas from happening, or preemptively attack, get first hits off of Megas with the Mega Altaria, forcing them to have to retreat, and you can just bring them right back up because you have your second Cyrus. This is really, really good control when it comes to the board, and just allows you to dictate how things are being played out, and also makes it very scary for your opponent because you're just like, man, I really don't want to get hit with Water Shuriken, and I definitely don't want to get brought up to the active to get hit by Mega Altaria, but I have no choice. I have to play the game because if I don't leave anything out on the bench, then I'm going to lose to the Mega Altaria on the front anyways, right? So a lot of room here and a lot of opportunities for misplays because there's just so much more calculating that you have to think through at the end there. Then we're getting to the other side of things with our Greninja and Chingling Core with Darkrai and Mega Absol. Darkrai and Mega Absol. This deck now changes from having a massive sweeper in Mega Altaria who's able to now hit 150, 170, you're really just whittling down your opponent. Hiking Trail actually being a huge card or an addition to this deck because you are playing cards out and you can quickly play cards out into this deck as well, leaving you clearing through your deck, having, you know, 2 cards to their 9 kind of thing, and that's happened plenty of times before when I've tested out, when I've played this deck with Hiking Trail in it, which is really huge. And because you're ahead, your board space is so much more established. So now you're pinging between Greninjas, between Darkrai's, destroying their hand with Mega Absol for them to just recuperate it to then get it discarded again. So you're relatively attacking for 20, 40, 60, 140 per turn, but you start off slowing them down with the Chinglings, making sure that you can get your procs up between either your Greninja or your Darkrai, but because you're playing out all your cards, you're going to see your cards that much faster. So between Hiking Trail and Copycat, your board looks pretty nice. It usually gets set up really faster than your opponent, so you can start to take control in that sense. So in terms of damage output, you are a bit much more slower, but in terms of the board state, you get established much more quickly. So like that's actually really, really nice here. And the last deck that we're going to talk about is none other than Hydreigon Mega Absol. If you're looking for a turn 2 deck, this is it. And this has been dubbed the villain over a couple of metas, over a couple of seasons, and I think it's because we got shiny new things and because we got shiny new cards that folks have paid attention to those other decks that we've listed off, right? Like there's a reason why I talked through those, because folks are tinkering, making those works, trying to optimize them, but this deck has been solved, so to speak, in terms of like what feels kind of optimal. And you have 2 different variations, one where you're running Absol or one where you're running the Headlego with the Poison Barbs. The Absol version clearing babies when they retreat, getting into your Hydreigons and just blasting right away. Feels really nice. And again, I think the Hiking Trail, just like as I said with this deck here, just allows you to take advantage of having stage 2s without your rare candies and being able to do that in here as well too, right? Like that's just literally the same nature of the game. Your 2 Copycats, a Hiking Trail and a rare will get you into your stage 2s, but this stage 2 is blasting out that front spot, is getting rid what's in front of it, and that is really, really tough. You have to be able to set up to attack the dino and clap back on it, or move things around on your board state to avoid a finishing, forcing them to only use their only sires, right? Like they only have one, force them to like try to like get the support out their hand and then just try to come back in the late game. Let them take the lead and then go from there, because Hydreigon is set up, it's going, then they have a second one, it's going, and it's really hard to come back from 130, 260, 390 worth of damage, and that's even before Mega Absol comes out and just kind of ruins your late game plan because they're discarding everything that's away from there. So this is definitely a very tricky deck to maneuver around, but if you're the one who's playing it, and I think it really just comes down to how often can I evolve into my Hydreigon? How consistently can I make sure that happens? I got my rare candy, I got my Hiking Trail, I got my Copycats. All right, cool. Let's make it work. Do I even run a Copycat in the main just to ensure that I can evolve into this thing? Maybe, but this is doing well right here in this list, so try this out first and then start taking around and let me know in the comments what you all decide. But yeah, y'all, here are the meta decks for this week. Just going through them once again so that way y'all can see them. Really fantastic decks, and so if you're looking to continue this climb, definitely pick one off from here and go from there. I really enjoyed diving all into that with you all, and really excited to see what y'all are also continuing to cook up with. If you enjoyed the video, as always, y'all, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, definitely hit that follow button, so that way you do not miss out on things. Catch you on the next one. Peace.